want you, baby. No, I want you, baby. No, I want you, baby. Oh, you got me. No, I want you, baby. No, I want you, baby. No, I want you, baby. Oh, you got me. No, I want you, baby.
Baby, it's in the club. Baby, it's in the club. Baby, it's in the club. You be acting real nice. If you see us on the floor, you'll be watching all night. We ain't here to hurt nobody. So give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Wanna see you work your body. So give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
When the boys in the party, everybody put up their hands. I get a half a mil for my feet, you get a couple grand. Never gon' see the day that I ain't got the upper hand. I'm respected from California, I ain't way down to Japan. I'm a real producer and you just a piano man. Your songs don't top the charts, I heard them, I'm not a fan. Niggas talking greasy, I'm the one that gave them they chance. Somebody need to tell them that they can't do it like I can.
Right then, good afternoon everybody. I do apologise for the late start, but we are here. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I've just received a DM, so that might be it. Hang on a moment. No! Right, I don't know if this is just me, everybody, or maybe there's some sort of restart going on, but we have loaded out, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on, but should be back in soon, I assume. But either way, we're here tonight for CES Round 8 for the Spanish Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen, and very nearing the end of this season, I believe, a 10-round season, which we have very nearly done. Round 8 Spain today, then next round is Belgium in Spa, and then, of course, round 10, the last round of the season. We go to Monza in Italy, where that is on the 3rd of September, ladies and gentlemen, so not too long away at all. On the grid, I don't know what's going on, and I'm not entirely sure we are racing right now. No, we're not, because people are retiring left, right and centre. Don't know what's going on. Maybe a restart is happening. See. Yeah, I can only assume this is a restart. Everybody, restart then, I believe. For the Spanish Grand Prix this afternoon, we've got a nice race ahead of us. Every race that I've commentated so far here at CES has been absolutely brilliant, and hopefully tonight these boys will bring you the same kind of action that they usually do. On your screen then, the finishing results from the not-so-real session in a moment, and then hopefully we should be going back into qualifying, everybody. I believe tonight is, of course, just normal short qualifying and then a 50% race that we do all the time here in CES. But while we're waiting, might as well go through the team championship standing, shall we? Last race out in Austin, which I actually missed because I was away in France, but Austin, round 7. It was the Shizou Cedars Igniters, which just pull ahead once again, 328 points, leading from TF10 in second place. Then in third is Progeny Esports with 247, closely followed by ETH Esports, burn about 4 points behind on 243. RSC in 5 with Anobi Esports in 6. ABS 9 points behind in 7, followed by PEC 5 points behind in 8, IRT in 9, and then we've got AERT Esports down at the back, unfortunately in P10, ladies and gentlemen. But a very close championship. I'm not going to lie, very close indeed. From round 7, we've still got 2 rounds to go after this one. So looking forward to getting to that. But for now, we should be restarting. And I'll be back with you as soon as we get into the game, everybody. I'm here for another Blue Pit masterclass in the chat. We'll see. Let's see what Blue Pit can do. We've got a massive grid tonight once again. And I mean, what a track. Spain, the Spanish Grand Prix. Long while since I've commentated here. But we are back on the Jack Crosty Comms channel and here for CES as well. The sunny weather all around that it is set to. So we're going to have no spots of rain at all here in Spain tonight. With the short qualifying first of all, followed by a 33 lap race, ladies and gentlemen. But qualifying soon to begin, and I'll see you in a moment.
Yeah, 1,000 lights in the rave, shining bright, I hide my face. Trying to find a time and place, I get right with grace. Life's a maze, I'm wide awake, we strive to find escape. And even in the silent escape, what you say goes, it's fate. Wait, I've seen this game before, why I play them all. Used to be close and now we waging war. Ways ignore, take the fall. Hear it in my cadence and the way I talk. Know some things will never change. Drowning in the downpour, surroundings are the same. Thought that I was grounded, all I found was my pain. Shrouded in the rain, same mistakes made again. Cause I was chasing the flame until it turned to ash. Burning packs, trying to swerve the fact. Heard the chat, whispers through the grapevine. Absurd, but I murmured back. Before it gets better, it gets worse, and that's the way it goes. Still on these paves, but I made them home. What you say goes, heads gone down mellows. What you say goes, I don't wanna know. What you say goes, heads gone down mellows. What you say goes, I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome along. Let's start again then, shall we? For CES Round 8 in Spain. Thank you for the follows that we've got today, ladies and gentlemen. For everybody sending them in, I appreciate it very much. There's 22 of you in the chat this afternoon, and a decent race ahead of us, we can only hope. But let's get straight into it. Round 8, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more rounds to the end of the season here at CES, and we've still got the Jizusi Igniters absolutely dominating up at the top of the championship. 19 drivers join us this afternoon here in sunny Spain, where we're not going to get a single spot of rain over the course of this evening. So that is going to be absolutely brilliant. We can go straight into it. No messing about with the wet weather tyres. We're just going to go straight with the slicks and give it everything, ladies and gentlemen. In the dry weather, but very, very nice conditions this afternoon. 19 drivers here. Many drivers coming out on their out laps then to start their flying laps in a few moments' time here in CES, but a lot of drivers joining us. A few new names as well this time, which I haven't seen before. I think Aiden is pretty new for me. I don't think I've seen Aiden before. Francesco as well, and possibly I think I saw the fake before. Yes, I have saw the fake actually, but a few new names on the grid is my point, which is very nice to see, ladies and gentlemen, for the teams. 24 people in the chat, many people on their out laps. Who can we watch first? Let's quickly get up the stuff on your screen so you know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Michael, who seems to be on a flying lap now. This will be the first one of this afternoon then in the V-Carb for ET8. So I believe our second or third in the Constructors' Championship. They are, never mind, 4th place, but still only marginally behind Prodigy Esports in 3rd place. So with a good weekend this afternoon, I mean, Michael and his team could take it all the way to 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship. Only 2 rounds to go after this one, so time is really running short. But Michael on his first flying lap this afternoon in short qualifying, everybody, for the Spanish Grand Prix. Yellow flags in the first sector. Seems to be a Haas car having a bit of an issue there. I think it's Lorenz or ART. But back to Michael, who heads his way around the final few corners. It is purple middle, but of course he is the first man at the moment on a lap. He's going to head round the final 2 corners then and towards the line. This flying right-hander here in Spain, absolutely brilliant corner that is. He crosses the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 11.421 to kickstart the afternoon off. His teammate follows him over the line. He puts it in second place of Ryan Grob with a 1 minute 11.5. Tachubi over the line then with a 1:11.496. And the times already are incredibly close. It is Oscar then with a 1 minute 11.3. Then it's Lewis with a 1:11.2. He goes fastest out of everybody so far in qualifying. And the two Shizou Series Ignited drivers in 1 and 2, locking out the front row of the grid in the early stages of qualifying, everybody. And only 200ths of a second is what separates them, which is just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it shows. It absolutely shows, doesn't it? Why they are the championship leaders, locking out the front row this early in qualifying with 14 minutes to go, everybody. So it is all to play for. It is all to play for. In the chat, go on OMB with a supporter for them this afternoon. OMB, where are they? Dan in 6 and in 11 with Miguel and Oscar. But we've got Trisk on the lap. Francesco going into the pit lane. Sorry. Daniel will be going into the pit lane soon as well. We've got Tachubi who's going in now. Who is on the lap? Anybody? Let's see. I think most people have completed them out. Belupip then, the man who has got a supporter in the chat. Apparently, he wants a Belupip masterclass. Well, no pressure, but what can the IRT driver do in the Kick Sauber this afternoon and flying around the track of Spain in P14 with no time on the board at the moment. So this will be his first one if he gets it over the line with 30% battery still left as well. And nearing the end of the second sector off. It is a 50.1 in sector 2. No purple sector we didn't see. But it still could be pretty decent for him if he can continue to form to the end of this lap, everybody. Belupip then is going to round off the sweeping two right-handers new only a few years ago, and he's going to cross that line now in Spain. What will it be for him? He's going to take a P8, which is very fair. That's very fair. Lovely stuff. 1 minute 11.470. And only 500ths of a second. Half a tenth then between Belupip and Michael. So half a tenth separates him and 7th place. Still time to gain, ladies and gentlemen. And I am looking forward to see. I'm looking forward to see how the track develops today and the drivers as well. In the chat, hello, says Papa, it's good to see you, mate. Thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for showing the support. I think we're actually very near in 700 followers now, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, 677. We have gone up in the world. It is pretty crazy, but I appreciate the follow, mate. Thank you very much. Hopefully you enjoy the racing action this afternoon. 2 streams here tonight, Jack Crossley Colmes. We've got CES first, and then Extinguished Motorsports starting at 8:30 in about an hour and 6 minutes time. So that is going to be quite an exciting one as well. So don't miss that if you want something to watch. Tapping into Oscar B driver. Not entirely sure, mate. Oh, I didn't see him. Oh, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. He's in 6th place then with a 1 minute 11.379, marginally behind Daniel. And the one thing that absolutely blows me away with this league is just how close qualifying is. Absolutely incredible times. And everybody that's set a time is within the 1 minute 11s. Nobody is lacking on time. And that is why it is so exciting to watch the racing here. It really, really is. 32 people think the same sat in the chat, so that is very good. We are a little bit later starting in qualifying, everybody, if you're just joining us, because we did have a lobby restart. Some of the settings weren't right, so we had to completely reset the game, which was unfortunate, but we lost a few minutes, but it is all good. We've got 10 minutes to go still of qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. So a long, long while left, and lots of time for the drivers to find their time and even get into the 1 minute 10s. I mean, we're only 2 tenths away from the 1 minute 10s, and Lewis could be the man to do it. He's the closest one at the moment. We've got the RSC driver of Enzo splitting the two SCI drivers up in the early stages of qualifying. Marcel heading down the track, then he will go into the pit lane very soon. He's got the fuel light on, so ooh, looking like he was a bit of an obstruction there to the Red Bull. And in the chat, Don Pedrito, it's good to see you, Don. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for the followers, Mel. Whoever's just followed, I very much appreciate that. It means a lot. We are nearing 700 followers, everybody, which is brilliant. Nearly 40 people in the Twitch chat this afternoon as well, which is superb. And CES getting some incredible recognition, of course, because what racing we witness here. It is some superb stuff every Wednesday evening. Unfortunately, I wasn't here last Wednesday, but I'm here again today, and hopefully I can see it out for the end of the season as well. Round 8 it is today, if you're just joining us, and a 10-round season that we have. So 2 more to go. We've got, I can't remember exactly, I know it's Monza last though, which we're going to go to for the final round of the season in Italy, ladies and gentlemen. But, oh my bad, yeah, no, round 9 is Spa in Belgium, of course. 40 people in the chat. Ryan Grob, currently your fastest man for ET8. Then it is Tachubi in 2nd, Lewis 3rd, Enzo 4, Francesco in 5, Tris 6, Daniel 7, Marcel 8, Lucas 9, and Oscar in P10, ladies and gentlemen, for this session. Aidan Evans is the only man to retire in this session right now, and that is for ABS, which is unfortunate to see. We don't like seeing retirements, but it does happen, and I assume that is for a qualifying ban. So that is probably where that has come from. The chat, Trisk, Goat, Aiden Goat. Well, Enzo, maybe he's the GOAT, because a 1 minute 11.1 sets him the fastest man this afternoon. He got nearly a 10th improvement on the final lap time there, and it's a 1:11.169. Look at the gap between him and Ryan Grob, ladies and gentlemen. That is the closest I've ever seen. 2,000ths, well, it's not the closest I've ever seen, of course, but 2,000ths of a second, the gap. I mean, it just does not get closer. That is incredible stuff. 1 and 2 separated by 2,000ths of a second, which is just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. That is the gap between them two, but it is, and qualifying still with 7 minutes to go. So it is not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. It is not over yet, as Francesco finally the first man to break into the 1 minute 10s. It is a 1:10.973. He takes a chunk out of Enzo's time. It's nearly 3/10 up on his previous lap time. Francesco to provisional pole, everybody. An incredible time. Incredible for Suzuki's Igniters. An absolutely brilliant team. They really, really are. Leading the championship by about 20 points, I believe. And I wasn't here last week, but it seems that they got a bit of a jump in the championship, because there's a much bigger gap to second place now than there was last time I was here. So SCI doing an incredible job this season, and the favourites for the World Championship, I assume, as we head into the final few rounds now. Next round, the penultimate. Round after that, the final round, everybody. And if you're interested in watching final rounds, next race that I do, which is just later on this evening, is Extinguished Motorsports, which is the final round of Extinguished Motorsports tonight. Make sure you're there for that. It's going to be some nice racing that we'll get to witness. Not as big of a lobby as this, but it still will be some decent action. But first of all, CES that we are here for. And Francesco into the pit lane. Oscar is on the track, but I believe in the pit lane this time around. He's got a 1:11.265. 1,000ths of a second separates him and Trisk, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. The gap is minuscule, ladies and gentlemen, between 6 and 7. Marcel is out there. He's improved by a 10th of a second in the first sector. Now, this is something we might want to watch then for the TF10 driver of Marcel with a 1:11.327. 2,000ths of a second separate him and Daniel. Can he find any time this lap? Thank you for the follow, Legion. As Marcel trying to push the car to the limits, then flying up to the right-hand side over the top of the hill there, the blind corner that it is, and Marcel towards the left-hander now. It is the end of the second sector where he pulls 0.2 of a second, everybody. That is a top 3 time if he can pull this off. Marcel for TF10 is finding heaps of time, buckets of it then, as he rounds off the final 2 corners here in Spain. Can the Mercedes keep it on the track? Can he keep the form till the end of this lap? Marcel towards the line with the DRS. It is going to be second place, a 1:11.021, and he finds second place, ladies and gentlemen. A lovely, lovely time, and only, you know, what, half a tenth then between Francesco and Marcel now. It is close, very close between the top 2. But Aiden, the only man to retire, and I believe, like I mentioned, due to a qualifying ban for round 8, Francesco could be on pole today with only 4 minutes to go. The clock is running down now, and we are in the latter stages, ladies and gentlemen, this evening. With only a few minutes to go, and everybody in the pit lane re-energizing, getting ready to go out once again. Because this is it. The final few push laps that they're going to get this afternoon in late stages as well, in the very late stages of this season. It is all to play for. Three minutes to go, and the first out lap is Daniel then, everybody, in P9. This is it. This is it. What can he do then? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the follow, David. I appreciate that very much. Thanks for that. And nice to see you in the chat. Many drivers coming out on their out laps now, ladies and gentlemen. And soon to put on their final laps of this afternoon. Loads of people coming out now, and the man ahead will be Daniel, the first driver to put on the final times of this afternoon. If you haven't followed already, make sure you do. We're on 683 and nearing 700, which is crazy to say, but we are getting there. Ladies and gentlemen, and 2 minutes to go of qualifying, so now this is it, the final push of qualifying for round 8, where the drivers are going to give it absolutely everything in the latter stages. Daniel will be the first man to put a time over the line in these late stages, and he crosses that line now to begin the final lap for him of this afternoon. Let's go with it then. For the TF10 driver in P9, he enters into turn 1 with 70% battery. It's tight and clean at this moment in time in the early stages, but a long lap to come still. And the TF10 driver, the second in the World Championship, only about 20 points behind Jesus Mercedes Igniters, and he heads into the right-hand side, 0.02 of a second up in the first sector, so he is finding time. And to be fair, that is quite a lot in this league, because everybody is separated by absolutely nothing. Daniel is finding minor time, but will it be enough for any position gains? He's going to head into the sweeping right-hander over the top of the hill, which is completely blind. He keeps it well, but a slipstream there for the Mercedes on the left, which is his teammate, I believe, as he swings it into the left-hand side, a 10th up in the second sector, a little bit up in the first sector too. It could be enough for P8 here, ladies and gentlemen. He could find a place in qualifying in the final stage. He's going to head towards the line now. Daniel in the Mercedes for TF10 will fly towards the line with his final time this afternoon. DRS activated. It's going to be P3 for Daniel. That is a lovely time. Nearly 2 tenths up, and it's the 1:11.1, ladies and gentlemen, across the line. Here comes the Red Bull then of Oscar. He's going to put it in P8. No improvements there from him, unfortunately. His teammate crosses the line, maybe starting a lap there, unless he just didn't improve. Loads of drivers crossing the line. Trisk then puts it in P4 at the end of qualifying. And Aston Martin over the line now with Lucas, who improves by a 10.5, and also a Kick Sauber of Beloop. No, it's not. It is Diego, sorry, in P17, who has just crossed the line with nearly a 10th up, and he's P17. No massive improvement there for him, unfortunately. Here comes a Ferrari of Herman then. It's P15 and finishes P15, unfortunately, for him. Lewis is going to round off the final corner, and his teammate too, Francesco, over the line with a 1 minute 10.9. Lewis into P3 at the end of qualifying then for Shizou Series Igniters. The championship leaders line up in 1 and 3 provisionally at this moment in time. Jachubi over the line in 4. Daniel is heading round in the pit lane. He's finished in P5. Marcel then, who has found a bit of time in the middle sector. It is not a lot at all, but there's really not a lot between him and Francesco. He could be on for pole position here, everybody, if you can find the time in the final sector. Absolutely no battery left, but over the line, Marcel can't do it. It is 400ths of a second found, and only good enough for second place, everybody. 100th of a second is the gap between 1 and 2. Francesco holds it for now. Will anybody else improve? Ryan Grob then with the fuel light on, possibly on the lap now, but I'm not entirely sure. He's going to round off the final few corners and cross the line in a couple moments' time. Will he find any? Nah, this isn't going to be. It's P5, actually not too bad at all. Ryan Grubb then P5 in qualifying as Diego, the last man. He crosses the line in P17. That is it for qualifying. Francesco's on pole. Marcel lines up in second place to fight him down into turn 1. Then it's Lewis in third and Oscar in 4, everybody. What a top 4 that is for the front 2 rows. What a qualifying session that was. 50% race coming up next. See you in a moment. There we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Finish results in qualifying. It is Francesco in the McLaren for Shizou Series Igniters, who takes the fastest time this afternoon. He takes pole position by a 10th of us. Whoa. 9 thousandths is the gap, which is incredible. Marcel second place, lining up at the front row of the grid. Second row of the grid then is Lewis and Oscar. Third row, Ryan into Chubi. Then we've got Daniel and Tris, 7 and 8. And then it's Enzo and Lucas in the 5th row of the grid in 9 and 10. That is it then for your top 10. Balupip's 11. I didn't get to the rest of it, unfortunately. I know Balupip 11, Michael 12, Miguel 13, and Lorenz in 14. Couldn't catch the rest, but the Grand Prix, everybody, in a few moments' time. 41 people in the chat this afternoon, which is just mind-blowing. A massive, massive number tonight. And hopefully you enjoy the racing that we can offer this afternoon. What a qualifying it was. I'm sure you won't be disappointed by the race coming up just next. Right then, everybody, we should be going very soon. We've just hit 690 followers, which is pretty crazy. Thank you to everybody following. Loads of them are coming in. 41 people in the chat, and the follows are flooding in. Get us to 700 then, everybody. We're very nearly there. It can be done. It can be done. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, on the grid. 5 lights ahead of the drivers here in Spain. It is Francesco off the line. And it's lights out and away we go. Brilliant start from him then. Marcel chasing down into turn 1, but to be fair, an absolutely awful start compared to Francesco. Out in front for Shizusi. This is a brilliant start off the line. He's into turn 1, massively ahead of Marcel. And Oscar then, who's going to try and chase him through as well. Side by side, coming through the first few corners is Lewis and Ryan then. Very nearly comes off the track. It is side by side. Daniel then up the inside line. Who's going to get ahead here? Side by side into the right hand side. It is Daniel who just about sticks it up there, the inside line. But can he get ahead of Ryan Grob then, who's just hanging up on the outside? Then he switches back underneath. He's through then in the V car. The ET8 driver with a brilliant dive up the inside line. He gets through and into P5 he goes. Enzo then, he's just behind that in the Aston Martin, and then behind that is Daniel, who's trying to get through past the Aston Martin without taking himself out or the cars around him. We've got Trisk just behind that then. Gaining on the Mercedes. Will he make a move up the inside line? Trisk is looking for this move. He brakes later than the Merc here today, and he's through up the inside line. How long can he hold it for though? Wheel banging all the way through then. Up the inside line goes Daniel. He is not letting that one go so easily. Side by side into the final 2 right-handers, ladies and gentlemen, on the grid this afternoon. Trisk is going to try and get back ahead of Daniel, but for now, Daniel has fought that one superbly well, and he kept the lead of his own little battle there in 7th position, which is absolutely brilliant. Lap 2 of 33, Francesco still leads by 5/10 of a second, everybody, half a second that we've got from him at the moment. Marcel, 2nd place, following quite nicely. Oscar is behind that, and then Lewis as well, as we all head through the right-hander. 37 people in the chat. As Tom says, ads. I'm really sorry about that, mate. I've been told about the adverts in the DMs, and next race I'll make sure they are not on, ladies and gentlemen. So they will be off for the next race. Lap 2 of 33, a very nice start for the drivers then, with 19 people here today. Tachubi being the man at the back, I think. He actually made a mistake there because he was, 13 places down. He had a very nice start, but then it just went all downhill then to Chubi. As never mind, that's exactly why then. He must have had connection issues. He just joined back. There's your race strategies. Lap 10 to 12, everybody, on to the softs and then onto the mediums on lap 20 to 22 for the 2-stop strategy there. Let's see what the driver decides to do, but all the fastest laps start coming in now, and they're crossing the line all at the same time in the massive snake-like fashion, single file all down into turn 1 on lap 3 of 33. 30 laps to go, everybody, of the Spanish Grand Prix. Francesco still leads for Shizusi United, and that team They're doing very well indeed, aren't they? They really are. In the season as a whole, and today as well. P1 and P4 for them at this moment in time. It is Team TF10 just behind in second place, and that is being represented. Oh, I can't say the word there. I don't know why I can't get it out. It's been represented. There we go. By Marcel in second place. Sorry about that. I've just had a bit of a brain freeze. But 30 laps to go. Marcel, second place then for TF10. We've got Oscar in third for OMB. Renobi Esports in sixth place in the Constructors' Championship. Yellow flags are out. It is not a safety car. I can only assume it's a virtual at the moment. Not entirely sure how that has come out. But a virtual safety car has been deployed due to some sort of issue down the track. The inside line, we're going racing again then. That was caught off guard, wasn't it? Taking him off the track then. It is off the track for both Marcel and Lewis then, who bring himself back on. Ryan Grob, the inside line. I'm not entirely sure why that's pinging off all the time, so I'm going to turn that off. Just give me a moment. That's really annoying. That is off. That is doing my nuts in. I don't know why it's keep doing it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, lap 4 of 33. Position changes all across the grid for the drivers. Francesco still leads though. Daniel and Trisk are in the same position from where they started. But apart from that, every single driver has changed position, either up or down. Majority, looking like they have gone up, and the tyres on your screen then right now. Daniel with a 3-second time penalty in the first one of the afternoon. We head all the way down into turn 1. It'll be Francesco still ahead with Oscar behind by 0.3 of a second. The gap has come down slightly since the race start, ladies and gentlemen. The gap has come down just a little bit by about 0.2 of a second as Tachubi, who did rejoin the race then after having a bit of a shocking start after leaving the session, is up to 17 and takes the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well. So had a lot of potential today, down many positions from where they started, but race pace is seeming good even from the back of the grid, so we'll see what Tachubi can do then in the long run today. 2-stop strategy for the drivers mainly, I think, so it's going to be a bit of a hectic one with the pit stops. Lap 5 of 33, somebody's off. The fake then for ART. With lots and lots of gravel on his tyres, he brings himself back on in P17. I'm not entirely sure what's happened with him there. But from what I can see, he went off the track. Don't know if that was himself or somebody has caused that. But Oscar and Francesco swap positions. Oscar gets ahead then past Francesco, everybody, on lap 6 of 33. As the fake retires from the session in the pit lane, the first retiree this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, which is such a shame. We don't really like that, but you know, at least it wasn't a crash and a safety car came out. We are still racing at full race distance, which is what we like to do. And the driver's heading over the top hill there, and Oscar, being your race leader, the gap between him and Francesco was coming down lap by lap, and finally Francesco cracked. Oscar managed to get ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got that pro game in the chat. It's good to see you, mate. Welcome in. There's Oscar heading round and towards the line. Will he be able to stay ahead this lap around? He's led the lap around once again and doing a very good job of it so far. But Francesco with the DRS, he'll send it up the inside line, and he easily gets through, ladies and gentlemen, to the race lead, and he gets back ahead to where he started. Ruben and Herman in 13 and 14, swapping positions as well down at the back of the grid as Herman takes 14th position, Ruben up to 13, which is nice to see. In the chat, how are you, buddy? I'm very good, thank you. How are you doing? It's been a little while since we've been streaming. I was away on holiday, then I went away again for a few days, and now we are fully back until this weekend coming up, where I'm gone again, which is brilliant. But lap 7 of 33, Francesco leading, ladies and gentlemen, still at this moment in time from Oscar, and the DRS is incredibly strong down the main straight. I think we might just see an overtake here again with Oscar making that overtake on Francesco. The gap is only half a second at the moment. Now 4 tenths around the final corner. This is doable if he puts his mind to it. Oscar then with the DRS flat wide open. Will he be able to get a move on Francesco then into turn 1? It isn't looking doable right now, but it seemed on paper that it was going to be doable. Unfortunately, not this time around. We have to wait again. In the chat, I'm tired since I've been working for many hours today. I've worked from 9 till 4 and from 7 till 20 to 9. Doesn't sound great at all, mate. Doesn't sound great at all, but you gotta get these monies up. At 8 of 33 then, everybody. Francesco still leads. Everybody's still so tight and compact all these laps in. Apart from a few that are straggling away at the back. But qualifying was incredible. It really, really was. The gap between all the drivers was just so close. Absolutely nothing in it, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, can you repeat the last part? I said fair enough, though. You've got to get your money up. As we have got some penalties, everybody. We've got some penalties. 3 seconds for Daniel, 3 seconds for Yayo at this moment in time. Maybe they're gonna build. I'm not entirely sure. But lap 9 of 33, Francesco still leads. 46 people in the Jack Crossley comms chat, and I think probably the most we've ever had in my chat before, which is pretty good. Can we get to 50? Is the question. Share the stream, everybody. Make sure we can get to 50. Let's see if we can do it. Paid about 100 in your currency. Fair enough, mate. Francesco leads from Oscar, from Ryan, from Lewis, and I'm excited to see when we get some pit stops. I think that's going to be quite exciting, isn't it? It always gets quite confusing on a 2-stop strategy, but it is always absolutely brilliant. And cannot wait to see the first pit stops in the chat soon. Jack's pit stops. Thank you very much for letting me know. Lucas with a 3-second penalty. Herman with a 3-second as well. We're going to head down the straight again on lap 10. Off the track there, looking like the Aston Martin just about bringing himself back on as we head down. Here comes CF10 of Daniel around the outside line. He's going to snoop his way through into P6 if he can hold on to it now, and he's going to try and get ahead of Enzo today, and he has done exactly that. Ahead goes Daniel into P6, and a brilliantly executed move that we've just seen there. Yeah, that for a game, but that is no worries. That is all good. As we cross the line on lap 11 now, Aaron leaves the session. Ladies and gents, I don't even think he's racing, is he? But across the line then, Miguel makes the first pit stop this afternoon. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Pit stops coming in. It is going to be Miguel first in the Red Bull for AMB. Puts on the hard compound tyres from mediums. And this is it then, the first part of the strategy. Lap 11 of 33 that we are on right now. 22 laps remaining of the Spanish Grand Prix. Out of the pit lane comes Miguel then to be the first man to make a scheduled pit stop there, which is good to see. We've got pit stops coming in now, and it won't be long before we see even more, ladies and gentlemen. We're now at 690 followers as well, so 10 more, and we have made it to the big 700, which is pretty crazy. But hopefully we can get there soon. And 45 people in the chat, I'm sure it is doable soon enough. In the pit lane then for Lewis then, for SCI to get on the second pit stop of this afternoon. The mediums should become the hards then as he goes into the pit lane now. It is the hard compound tyres come on. And he exits the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. Now with a Kick Sauber coming up behind him of Jago as well into the pit lane for him. On the mediums right now, it'll be the hards once he comes out on lap 12 of 33. But still, Francesco being your leader for SCI, the team that are leading the championship by about 20 points at the moment. And absolutely dominating. They've been dominating the whole entire season. Here they are doing well again, with their driver Francesco leading the Grand Prix. His teammate Lewis down in 14, but because he's of course made a pit stop, so that is why he's down the grid. Up 12 or 33. There you go, down in 8. Oh, never mind. We've got pit stops coming in. It is Francesco in the pits. Ryan Grob carries on then. He gets track position. Marcel does the exact same thing. A few drivers stay out, but there is a big chunk of drivers now in the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. Pit stops coming in. We've got Oscar 7, Daniel in the pit lane. We've got Francesco, Enzo, Trisk, Daniel. Loads of drivers then that are in the pit lane right now, ladies and gentlemen. Which is great to see. Absolutely brilliant to see. We have got pit stops. And new tyres, lots and lots of them. Loads of hard compound tyres across the grid now. There's quite a few used mediums still up at the top. They are sure to pit soon enough. We've had a lot of drivers make their pit stops now. In the chat, Francesco for the win. Also scroll in chat. Jack, you should add something for 10k channel points. Yeah, maybe, mate. Could do. Name in the chat. Lovely comment for Lego. With 49 people in the chat. One more and we'll reach the big 50. Come on, boys. One more. This is absolutely brilliant. Pit stops coming in as well for the top drivers now. And Michael is now your race leader. Tachubi in second place. They are 2 drivers now still yet to pit, and the only 2 drivers in the whole entire race that have not made a pit stop yet. Everybody else has. And Francesco is in the provisional lead now. 50 people in the Twitch chat. We finally have made it, which is brilliant. The most we've ever had. In the Jack Crosty comms. Beautiful stuff. And if you have Amazon Prime, everybody, you can subscribe to the channel for absolutely free with a free channel sub. So if you want to do that, it helps me out a hell of a lot, and it would be great. But lap 14 of 33, Michael now your leader, who should be going into the pit lane this lap around. I would be surprised if you didn't go in soon. And he does in the pit lane for Michael. The Tubey, most likely, never mind, he doesn't do the same thing. He carries on then for FRT in second place on the 14th lap, now 15. He crosses the line at nearly half race distance to Tubey heading down the straights and soon to go into the pit lane. I believe Francesco now in second place. He's one step closer to claiming his P1, which he started, of course, in on the grid after getting pole in qualifying earlier on. And now, provisional lead that he's in won't be long, and he'll be back on that top spot, ladies and gentlemen. But we just have to wait for that to happen. But the Tubey, the only man in his way, 14-lap old mediums, which he's actually nursing through pretty well, but they will have to get changed fairly soon. As under the bridge he goes into the end of the second sector. Pit stop should be coming in soon. Loads of drivers still within close distance at the minute, and one promising move is possibly here with Enzo and Daniel. Daniel's been involved in a hell of a lot of moves this afternoon, and Enzo could pass him with the DRS help. Down the straight we go in a moment. Will it be, ladies and gentlemen, an overtake for anybody down the straight? We just want a bit of action. Let's see, shall we? In the pit lane for Tubey. All of the drivers now filtering through to get their new place. It'll be Enzo gaining towards Daniel, who has got the DRS, which is going to help him stay ahead. And Enzo can't do anything right now. In the chat, Jack Gaps, what, mate? Legends never die. You're a legend. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. I can say the same for you. You're a legend as well. As lap 16 of 33, Francesco's still your leader. He, of course, gained it after everybody went into the pit lane. Now, we've all been filtered through, and everybody is on the hard compound tyres, which I see these going to the end, to be fair. But if they don't, we'll just see what happens there. But 46 people in the Twitch chat this afternoon, incredible showing, and Enzo picks up a 3-second time penalty then. We have got 5 penalties across the grid, which isn't ideal, but you know what, I've seen a hell of a lot worse. And penalties across the grid at the moment, which will mess up some people's races, especially how close these people in this league race. They race so close, there's never any gap between them. So a 3-second time penalty is going to throw somebody off absolutely massively. So that is not something you want to be getting at all, to tell you the truth. An hour into the stream now, 1 hour into the stream. We've got the fake who has retired. 18 drivers still here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, which is good to see. I think normally we have a full grid, 1 driver less this afternoon, which it doesn't really matter, to be fair, does it? 19 drivers today has been absolutely superb as we cross the line on the 18th lap now of 33. We are over half race distance this afternoon with Ryan Grob making an overtake on Lewis Bloor, which is nice to see. Aidan Evans with a 3-second time penalty as well, which is not ideal at all for him, but it happens. And there you go. I don't know what just happened there. Apparently, Jago and Aiden swap positions. Maybe Aiden got past, maybe Tubey got past Aiden. Maybe that was the case that we missed. But Tubey in 15 then, ladies and gentlemen. Side by side down the straight. It is going to be Oscar to fly ahead of Francesco. Will he stay ahead though into turn one? He will for now. But we know how strong that DRS can be when it comes into effect down the straight, everybody. And at the minute, looking like Oscar is going to stay ahead for now. Down the straight, when we get onto it, is going to be a different story. Two main straights then here in Spain, ladies and gentlemen. The main straight, which of course is prime overtaking opportunity, and the one at the end of the second sector, the one that you enter, just going over the little hill, which isn't as long, but still can be used for overtaking. If you exit that right-hander, this one exactly here, you know, at a good distance to the car in front. But Francesco will not be able to do that at all at the moment. Oscar miles in front of him right now. And now we're nearly rounding off lap 19 off, ladies and gentlemen, to see if Francesco can make a move again. Nobody quite knows who is gonna win this race this afternoon, but I'm sure we're gonna find that out very, very soon. We're gonna cross the line to begin lap 20 then, with 13 laps to go. Once we get there, and Francesco with a chance now to overtake Oscar into turn one. The McLaren against the Red Bull OMB driver leading the Spanish Grand Prix still this late onto the Spanish Grand Prix. It is 13 laps towards the end. Francesco still couldn't do it, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon. Incoming joke. Go on then, mate. Age, please. I will get it on the screen for you really quickly. There you go. Sorry about that. I turned it off earlier on. I had it on, but turned it off because I wanted to see the position changes. That's my bad. Why did the cliff fall off? I don't know why the cliff fell off. 13 laps to go, everybody, with Oscar being your race leader in the Red Bull on the hard compound tyres, where everybody here today in the minute are on the hard compound tyres. And Oscar across the line with Francesco right behind him, homing in him really, really fast now, but he still can't make a move into the inside on lap 21 of 33, still having to stick in second place. And Francesco really being humbled here at the moment because he took pole position. He's led the race for massive, massive heaps of time. And now Oscar comes out of nowhere and is absolutely holding this one off. Really, really well as well. He's not letting anybody through. Michael on the backside of Ruben, and exactly what I was talking about earlier, not a good exit out of that corner, and unfortunately just, you know, did not work out for the ET8 driver to make a move on the Williams in front of him with 21 laps we're in. 22 now with Oscar across the line, everybody. Still being your race leader, Francesco trying to gain on the third time. Mavaski is going to head it up the inside line. He could have made a move there, but he's clearly on purpose stayed behind in second place for Shazoo Series Igniters. This man is not messing about. He's got a bit of a game plan, I think. And in the chat, Oscar pushing a lot. Absolutely, Oscar is pushing massively in front. It was tired of people jumping off and killing themselves. Wow, a bit of a dark joke. As Oscar still in the lead, pushing, like mentioned in the chat. He's really, really pushing that car ahead at the moment. On the same lap all tyres as Francesco behind, but he is definitely doing something with these, absolutely flying at this moment in time. But it worries me because I think they might just wear off a bit sooner than Francesco's aren't going to do. 11 laps left, everybody, of this Spanish Grand Prix. 11 more times around this circuit, and we are done. still 40 people in the chat, which is a very nice retention this afternoon. I appreciate everybody being here. At the moment, everybody in lap 23 of 33, 10 laps to go. Oscar being your race leader from Francesco, from Ryan Grob, Marcel, Lewis, Daniel, Enzo, Trisk, Lucas, Miguel, Lorenz, Ruben, Michael, Tachubi, Herman, Diego, Aiden, Ambi, Lupip. All the drivers left in the race, everybody, this afternoon. The Fake is the only driver to go for ART, but Lawrence in the other ART driver is doing a very nice job at the minute in P11. Didn't you understand the joke completely? Probably not then. Probably not, mate, if you're saying that. I don't know, to be honest. Lap 24 of 33, everybody. And we are definitely nearing the end now. We really are. 44 people in the chat. Lawrence and Lucas swapping positions, I believe. Unless it was Ruben and Lucas. I think it was Ruben and Lucas then, wasn't it? As Lucas into P11. Ruben down in 12 on lap 24 of 33. Connected to my earlier joke, you never said my early jokes were dark, mate. Fair enough. But lap 25 of 33 then, everybody, with Oscar being your race leader. Still with Francesco trying to make a move, Ryan Grob behind in third position. And we're going to head through all the way around the snaking left and the right, and will Ryan Grob maybe make a move here on Francesco? The gap is getting very close here, 0.2 of a second in, just between them. The OMB driver of Oscar has had a really good run today. He really has, but can he hold it for the remainder of the race? Have to see. We will just have to see. Still, only a few laps to go. We are running down. We're running out of time then, everybody, of this Spanish Grand Prix. And Oscar being your race leader, Francesco second place. Following closely behind it is Marcel and Ryan Grob, making their way all the way through towards the final few corners. Oscar really locked in, absolutely locked in. This man is not budging for anybody, and towards the line he's ahead and pushing that car to the limits. Can Francesco make a move on him? He's going to gain and gain and gain, but from what I've seen, Francesco seems to be staying behind on purpose at the moment. He's all the way behind now in second place, but possibly could have made a dive up the inside there, but I'm sure he just waited for the right moment. Lap 26 begins, everybody. Ryan Grob still in third place, very close behind Francesco right now. And sees a gap, pulled the inside line. Francesco for the first time today, will he get overtaken for third place? Ryan Grob sends it around the outside line, nearly wheel banging there. He saw an opportunity, but he just couldn't get through, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Grob has to settle for third right now. Across the line, this is it, everybody, in the final stages of the Spanish Grand Prix. Francesco gaining on Oscar and Ryan Grob gaining too. All the way down the straight we go then, side by side. Francesco stays in second place then. No move for him at the moment in the final stages. 48 people, nearly 50 people watching this live then on lap 27 of 33. The final few stages where Oscar has been absolutely locked the whole entire end of this race and not letting go of this race lead for anything then. Francesco having to wait his turn behind Oscar. It's going to have his moment in the sun if he can stay ahead for OMB then this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 14 of his tyres, but lap 27 of the whole entire race, everybody behind him on pretty old hard compound tyres, and the whole entire grid actually on hard compound tyres, so none of them really at any advantage to each other apart from, you know, the few lap deficit when pitting. But Oscar ahead still with half a second gap. Then a few laps to go, 6 more before we reach the end, and he's holding on to this one incredibly tight, isn't he? Full grasp on that race winners trophy today. He's going to head round the final corner and towards the line here in Spain once again to try and hold off, ladies and gentlemen, this race lead move. Can Francesco make a move all the way up the inside? He would have gone, but can't do it still yet, having to wait, unless he's waiting on purpose and then going to make a move on the last lap. I'm not entirely sure his way of thinking here for Francesco, but Oscar is certainly doing a good job of staying ahead right now. Ryan Grob as well, really keeping distance here, only 0.4 of a second, and we've seen him even closer than this. Five more laps to go. Belupip at the back of the grid, which is really unfortunate. In the chat earlier on, I recall somebody saying, Belupip Masterclass. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened today. No Belupip Masterclass that we have witnessed. He's down at the back of the grid and looking like he's going to finish at the back of the grid as well. Oscar seems very calm at the moment, which is pretty true. Oscar does seem pretty calm. He's doing a good job, he really is. On lap 28, and across the line now, 29 begins at a 33 total. Francesco to make a move, then he's getting closer and closer. I think he's purposely staying behind here, unless he's not, and Oscar's really just putting a shift in, I think. We'll just have to see as we reach the end of the race soon. The top 5 without the penalties, that isn't going to affect anything at all, which is very, very good to see. Penalties can absolutely screw people up, and a Ferrari has gone round in the final corner, I believe. It is Herman then, who brings himself back on the track in 16th position, all the way down then at the back of the grid, ladies and gentlemen, just ahead of Belupip. Michael and Ruben swapping position as well in 12 and 13. Round the outside goes Michael. He's through to P12. Ruben down to 13. Can't do anything about that one at the moment. It was a pretty dangerous corner to make a move on as well, so couldn't really defend it either. But lap 29 of 33 now, nearly onto the lap 30s, everybody, of this race. We are very nearly there with Oscar to cross the line now. Miguel with a 3-second penalty. Oscar crosses the line to begin lap 30 with 0.4 behind Francesco, and he's going to try it this time around after many times of asking. Francesco gets the lead again here today for CES in Spain, everybody. Round 8, and Francesco finally makes that move again. Ryan Grob now is on the backside of Oscar to try and mount a bit of a challenge on him. Oscar, who's led for so many laps then this afternoon, pulling ahead and keeping a distance, has finally being overtaken by Francesco, who did start on pole and finally has found his top spot once again. Can he maintain it for the remaining 3 laps then? We've got the main straight coming up 3 more times, which is not going to help Francesco in his chance of winning this race at all. He needs to absolutely push now to win this race. Oscar gaining and gaining, half a second is the gap. It's getting tight. It is getting tight, ladies and gentlemen, in the closing stages this afternoon with 3 laps to go. To Tubi, Ruben and Lucas standing 12, 13 and 14 swapping, but I think it was Lucas that went round actually and lost a few positions. But now we start lap 31 of 33 with Francesco still being your leader. 0.6 of a second. Now will Oscar be able to replicate the same move that Francesco did on him? He's going to gain and gain and gain. Maybe at the inside line. Will he send it? He will not. He was too far behind for a move this time around. Has to stick back, ladies and gentlemen. No moves to him right now. On your screen is the battery for Oscar. On your screen is the battery for Francesco. It is 94% for Francesco. Oscar has only got 59, 60 then, compared to the massive amount of 99, nearly 100 then for Francesco. Bit of a difference there. And that is going to come in massive handy, ladies and gentlemen, once they get onto the final straight. It is far from over, ladies and gentlemen. Far from over. Lap 31 of 33. And here comes Francesco. Shizou Series Igniters towards the line to begin the penultimate lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. Who's going to win this afternoon? Oscar has put up an absolutely brilliant fight, but unfortunately was overtaken in the final few laps. Now, on the penultimate lap, Ryan Grob is behind him for a bit of a challenge. Marcel's there as well. Will we get any moves down the straight, ladies and gentlemen? Oscar's gaining. Oscar for a move at the inside line. He still can't do it. Has to stay behind on the penultimate. We are very nearly there towards the end, and Francesco's got to bring this one home on the second to last lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. What can he do in his hopes and dreams of winning this race, everybody? Come on. Lorenz and Michael swapping positions, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, in P10 and 11. Oh my god, they are swapping positions side by side then, all the way out of the exit. Lorenz on the inside line, Michael around the outside. Who will get ahead here? A brilliant battle as the V-Carb tries to stay ahead. He sticks it on the outside line, side by side here, as Lorenz in the Haas as well, in P11. Tries to get ahead, but couldn't do so. To Tubi in P12 as we head then onto the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix with Ruben in P3 and Ruben with a 3-second time penalty. Sorry about that. Francesco is your race leader once again. Oscar second place with huge mounting pressure from behind with Ryan Grob, who's going to try and stop him in his tracks of winning. Or at least getting second place. He's going to have to try and stop him there. Francesco looking like he's going to go ahead and win the race today. Battery for Francesco, 33. Battery for Oscar, 24%, ladies and gentlemen, in the final stages. This is some absolutely brilliant stuff at the end of this Spanish Grand Prix here in CES. Lap 33 of 33, finally. We reached the end. 45 people sat here watching this live and watching it all unfold as Francesco for Shizou Series Igniters could become a race winner again here today. He's going to try and stay ahead on the final straight, which is looking more than likely now as the gap's 1.2 seconds. It's Oscar who's struggling behind with Ryan Grob mounting the pressure on him to stop him from getting that second place. And Ryan in his hopes of taking second, but now we round off the final corner. And here in Spain, for round 8, it is going to be Francesco who takes the win for Shizou Series Igniters. Oscar second place. Ryan Grob comes home in third. It'll be Marcel 4, Lewis 5, 6 is Tris, 7 Daniel, 8 Enzo, 9 Lorenz, 10 Tubi, 11 Michael, 12 Miguel, 13 Ruben, 14 will be Lucas once he reaches the line with a penalty, and the same for Aiden. Lap 33 of 33, we finally did it. Francesco wins out, everybody, in Spain. It'll be Diego 17, Herman 18 once he crosses the line and rounds off the afternoon before I shoot off for Extinguished Motorsports for another race. Francesco wins then. Fastest lap is Lucas. Driver of the day, Lorenz. Most overtakes to Tubi. And Oscar is your cleanest driver. Here's your finishing results then. It is Francesco who takes the win from Oscar second place. Brian Grob comes home on the podium in third. Well deserved as well. Marcel 4, Lewis 5, Tris 6, Daniel 7, Enzo in 8, Lorenz 9, and Tachubi 10. 11 is Michael. 12, Miguel. 13, Ruben. 14 is Lucas. 15th position goes to Aiden. 16, Lupip. 17, Diego. 18, Herman. And 19 is the fake who retired early on. That is it then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon for CES Round 8 in Spain. I'm going to, of course, end the stream here, but I'll be back streaming in a few moments' time, everybody. Back again for Extinguished Motorsports. Don't go anywhere if you want to join us for that. Have a very nice evening, and I'll see you all later. Good night.